Hello everyone, how are you today? Are you ready to learn? Great. Let's get started by opening our books to Unit 14. Okay, look at the picture. What do you see? I see a lot of yummy food. Have you tried any of these foods before? I also see 3 small colored rectangles. Do you know what those are? That's right, they're flags. And these flags are for 3 different countries. Do you recognize the flags for any of these countries? I see a flag for Japan, China, and South Korea. There are 3 flags on the picture, next to 3 foods from those countries. These 3 countries have something in common. Something about food. I'll give you a hint. In my country, I eat my food usually with a fork. But in China, Japan, and South Korea, they use something different. Do you know? You can see it on the page here. But if you don't know the name of it, that's okay. What we'll do is we'll look at our keywords today to see if we can find our answer there. So if you look at the left side of your page, you can see 6 words and 6 pictures. Let's take a look at these keywords and practice with them, and maybe you'll know how people in China, Japan, and South Korea eat food. All right. These are our key words for this unit. Can you listen and then repeat after me? Our first word is chopstick. Chopstick. So listen and repeat. Chopstick. Very good. Our next word is wood. Wood. Your turn. Excellent. Our next word is reach. Reach. Wonderful. And our fourth word is blunt. Blunt. Your turn. Very good. Our fifth word is sharp. Sharp. Your turn. And our last word is remove. Remove. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to do something different today. We are going to practice using our vocabulary words, our keywords, by taking a walking tour around our classroom. So, before we get started, I'm going to give everybody one set of these. Do you know what these are? These are our first vocabulary word. They are chopsticks. Chopsticks. Now, these chopsticks are used for eating, but today we're going to use these chopsticks to point to different things in our classroom as we walk around. Now, we're going to use these chopsticks to point at things that are part of our key words. So after chopsticks, what is our second keyword? That's right, it's wood. So let's look around our classroom for something made of wood, and then we will point to it. So, if I were to look around my classroom right now for something made out of wood, how about here? We have a bookshelf. Now this bookshelf is made out of wood. Wood comes from trees. So this bookshelf is made out of wood. So we will point to it with one of our chopsticks. All right, let's everybody stand up and as we walk around, and if you see anything made out of wood or something that is sharp or blunt, point to it with your chopstick and we will talk about it. All right, ready? Let's go. Great job, everyone. Now, have you figured out how people in South Korea, Japan, and China eat? That's right. They use chopsticks, which is what we are going to talk about today. Let's look at our book one more time. Now, on the screen, do you see chopsticks? Yeah. How many chopsticks do you see? Let's count them together. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sets of chopsticks. 10 sets of chopsticks are on the page. What do you notice about these chopsticks? Are the chopsticks all the same? No, the chopsticks are a little different. And we're going to find out why chopsticks look different. They don't all look the same. Our book tells us that 3 countries use chopsticks. What countries are they? That's right, China, Japan, and South Korea. Can you think of any other countries that use chopsticks? Do people in your country use chopsticks? Well, let's learn more about chopsticks. We're going to read the story together. So use your reading finger and follow along while we read together.
Chopsticks are different in each country. Chinese chopsticks are made of wood or bamboo. Chinese people sit around a large table and share food. Their chopsticks are long for reaching the food. They have blunt ends. Japanese chopsticks are made of wood. They are shorter than the Chinese type. They have sharp ends. This helps people easily remove small bones from fish. Korean chopsticks are made of metal. They have a flat rectangular shape. Most Korean people use chopsticks to eat side dishes, but don't use them to eat rice.
Great job, everyone. Let's review what we read. So, how many countries did we read about? We read about 3 countries. Which countries were they? We read about Japan, China, and South Korea. Do China, Japan, and South Korea use the same types of chopsticks? No, they don't. They each use a different type of chopstick. What kinds of chopsticks do Chinese people use? They use chopsticks that are made of wood or bamboo. How about Japanese people? Japanese people use chopsticks made out of wood. But are they the same as Chinese chopsticks? No, they're a little different because Japanese chopsticks are sharp at the end and they're not as long. How about Koreans? What kinds of chopsticks do they use? They use metal chopsticks. Very good. Okay, now it's your turn. I would like you to read the story with 2 partners. Each of you will choose a country. So, 3 students, 3 countries. Each student will become an expert on the chopsticks from one country. When you are ready, I want you to talk to a different student and tell them how you eat food in the country that you have become an expert on. So if you are the expert on South Korean chopsticks, When you are done talking with your group, stand up and move to another table and talk to a student who is an expert from Japan or China. I want you to talk about how your chopsticks are the same and how they are different. Then you can share what you talked about with the class. Great job, everyone! Now that you are all experts on chopsticks from these 3 countries, let's answer some questions in our workbook. So let's turn the page to our first workbook page. At the top of the page, you can see our first comprehension check questions. I want you to circle the correct answer for each question. Let's do these questions, the first question, together. So, question 1 is, what is the story mainly about? Is it A, different kinds of chopsticks, B, how to use chopsticks, or C, the good points of metal chopsticks? Which answer is correct? That's right, it is A, different kinds of chopsticks. We read about different kinds of chopsticks from 3 countries. Okay, now I would like you to complete the other 3 questions by yourself. Try to answer these questions without checking the story. Once you are done, check your answers with one of your partners. All right, you have been doing such a great job. I think it's time to play a game. This game is called Same, Same, Different. Get back into your teams of 3. So you're the 3, get back into your groups with the people that you became chopstick experts with. Each person will choose a different country from the story. I will say something from the story, and if what I say is true about your country, I want you to stand up. Sometimes the answers will be true for only one country. Other times, the answer will be true for more than one country, so you have to listen carefully. The team that stands up the fastest with the correct number of countries will get a point for their team. Let's practice one together. So, if I say, this country uses chopsticks, who stands up? All 3 countries would stand up because Japan, South Korea, and China all use chopsticks. So all 3 countries would stand. Okay, sit down one more time. Let's do another one just to practice. If I say, this country uses metal chopsticks, who stands up? Does Japan stand up? No, they do not, because they do not use metal chopsticks. Does China stand up? No, they do not, because China doesn't use metal chopsticks. Does South Korea stand up? Yes, they do, because South Korea is the only country of the 3 we read about that uses metal chopsticks. Are you ready to play? Great, let's begin. Now that you have finished the game, please complete the chart at the bottom of page 58. There are 4 blanks that need to be filled in. Choose the words from the word bank at the bottom of the page. Let's read those words together. We have flat, blunt, wood, and shorter. So some of these words are familiar to you because they are keywords. Other words come from the story. So, what you will do is you will take these keywords and put them into the 4 blanks that you see on the screen. Let's do the first one together. We're going to look at the materials row, or the materials column, and the Chinese row. So this first box in the upper left, Chinese materials. So, Chopsticks that Chinese people use to eat food are made out of something or bamboo. So think back to the story. What did we learn about Chinese chopsticks? What are they made out of? They are made out of wood or bamboo. Chinese chopsticks are made out of wood or bamboo. You can see that the rest of this column has been completed already. So we know that the Chinese chopsticks are made out of wood or bamboo, Japanese chopsticks are made out of wood, and Korean chopsticks are made out of metal. All right, you have 3 more blanks to fill out. 1 for end and 2 for length and shape. So please fill in those blanks with your partners now. When you are finished, compare your answers with your partners before we discuss them as a class. If you disagree on an answer, you can use the story to check. All right. Now, I think it's time to review our keywords. What things did you find in the class that matched our keywords? What did you find that was sharp? A pencil, okay. What did you find that was made out of wood? A bookshelf, very good. Okay, now, it sounds like you remember your keywords, so let's complete the word check section of our book. Please write the correct word under each picture and circle the correct word to complete the sentences. So you can do section A and B at the same time. Let's do the first question together. So take a look at the picture that you see here. In the picture, we see 2 pencils. The top pencil is what? It is sharp. But we have a little red arrow there that's pointing to the lower pencil, the pencil on the bottom. Is this pencil also sharp? No, it's not. What is the opposite of sharp? It's blunt. Very good. It is blunt. So, what word would we write in the space underneath the picture for number 1? We would write blunt. And how do we spell blunt? B-L-U-N-T. Very good. Write that into the blank as neatly as you can. Now you may continue and finish the other 5 questions that you need to answer. Okay, let's wrap up our lesson today. We're going to complete the Think More section in class, but I will give you a special homework assignment that is connected to this activity. Let's read the question first before we talk about this special homework assignment. So, look at the picture. We have a question and an answer that we need to complete. We have 3 foods on the left side of the picture. Do you recognize these foods? I see a pudding, I see a cheeseburger, and I see some sunflower seeds. All of these things are very, very delicious. But how do we eat pudding? We have to use a spoon to eat pudding. And how do we eat a cheeseburger? We eat a cheeseburger with our hands. How do we eat sunflower seeds? Sunflower seeds are quite difficult to eat because you have to break the shell with your teeth to get the seed inside. So we use our hands and our teeth to eat sunflower seeds. Now, can you use chopsticks for these foods? You can, but it might be very difficult, right? It might be very difficult to eat a hamburger with chopsticks. So, what you are going to do is think about the question on the screen or in your book. Think about the question and come up with an answer. You can choose one of the three foods in the picture, or you can choose any other food that you know. It's up to you. But let's read the question together. Will you please use your reading finger to follow along while we read? So our question is, what food is difficult to pick up with chopsticks? And why? So we have two questions there. Now, you can choose anything to answer this question, but let's go with one of the examples on the screen. Let's choose the pudding because it's at the top of the picture. So, what food is difficult to pick up with your chopsticks? Pudding is difficult to pick up. Why is it difficult to pick up with chopsticks? It's difficult to pick up because pudding is slimy. Okay, so when we answered this question, we gave an answer as to what is difficult to pick up, and we gave an answer for why it's difficult to pick up. So think about this and write your own answer now. Okay, excellent job everyone. Your homework tonight will be to complete pages 30 and 31 in your workbook. However, I also want you to finish our bonus homework assignment. I want you to go home and find some food at home. I want you to make a video on your phones of you trying to pick up that food with chopsticks. If you don't know how to use chopsticks, that's okay. You don't have to do that part if you don't want. But the important part is that you tell me why you think this food is easy to pick up with chopsticks, or why the food is difficult to pick up with chopsticks. So you can choose the food, and it can be a food that is easy or difficult to pick up with chopsticks. Film this on your phone, get your parents to help you, and when we come back to class next time, we will watch your videos. All right. You can also use the Think More section to help you remember how to answer these questions. Okay, well, we are going to be finished now, so go ahead and pack your bags and get in line. Thank you very, very much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.